25 years ago, we came to Cooper Island to document the Residential School Memorial Day. The school dominated the island for over 85 years. Our film, Cooper Island Return to the Healing Circle, focused on 3 survivors at the now demolished Catholic-run school. Brothers Tony and James Charlie, and Delmar Johnny. In 2010, Cooper Island was reinstated as Penelakut Island to honor the Hoklaminam-speaking people's traditional territory. On the ferry to Penelakut, James, Charlie, and I discussed making a follow-up film. He was now director at Penelakut Health and invited us to return to the island to document a crucial community gathering. But first, he had something to show me.
Okay.
It's a deer. It has horn. It's a male deer, the spike. But to me, when I first saw this, the beauty of it, it's very hurtful. This is my wife. The beauty, the strength. This is my kids. This is my grandmother. You know, these horns, to me, represent how we dominated, oppressed our women, abused them sexually, physically, mentally. And yet, they jumped over us, they moved on. The woman wear the horns. We come from a matriarchal society, and the women are still very dominant. They need their role in our culture. So how pretty that is. Very gorgeous. And then they have us from the boarding school. You mix that beauty with this, not very pretty. This is where I'm at. A lot of my people are there. We live inside the shell. A lot of gray area, a lot of dark area. We have love, we have rainbows, we have feelings. But it does not come out. We had a soccer team, and we're kind of chosen. I don't know how they chose us, but there's 16 of us. There's only 4 of us left to this very day. The other 12, some were in car accidents, some slashed their wrists, some quite a few of them had drug overdoses. Every one of them died a violent death, and every one of them was sexually abused.
I felt so helpless. I was a little guy, and I thought, well, maybe this is what religious people do. You know, I had no clue.
No child at that age deserved to be pushed around like that. And I hated it. There was lots of anger and lots of hate, but most of all, it was just like lots of sorrow because I was no longer a kid.
Tek wallam stannak tanat amach qalawan stes ktli teskhtisias yato slisks ies qoyals umak tisias siemers natamo koyuti tala hai tapqa kusi an saktes qalawan eli qalak wat.
As you know, we all been on a very, very long healing journey. To spark off domestic violence, sexual abuse, bootlegging, drinking and driving, suicide, all those things that plague this community. This is why we are here, to address some of those issues. We know that the boarding school did a lot of harm to us. It hurts. I went through this many years ago. I went to the boarding school. I lashed out at everything that would come by. I had so much anger in me. Ashamed of being abused, trying to prove I was a man.
My son here as a witness to how I am, and that's not very nice.
In the past 120 years since the first school opened, that's where our people started to get hurt. The last school didn't shut down till 1990. That's not too long ago. And yet, all these social issues are still alive in our communities. We have alcohol, we have drugs, we have violence, we have young children giving birth to children, we have high school dropout. All of the above. It's all there.
My dad was 5 years old when he was taken, 6 years old when he was taken, and he was living on Keeper Island. To a 5 or a 6-year-old, Keeper Island may have been Alcatraz. You can't swim from Keeper Island. Even though you can see the mainland, a child can't swim against the currents, and many children tried to escape, and they didn't find their bodies because the tide took them. He would get triggered and it would be sometimes a week. He would drop into a depression and the whole house would just emanate with a deafening silence. I think when somebody is so big and charismatic and who is such a storyteller and a jokester can all of a sudden implode. I think it was really hard for me to see that And I think that's part of the intergenerational trauma that I wrestle with, because here's this adult that is protecting me, feeding me, taking me to school. This person that is my guardian is being so violently hurt by a memory.
Sometimes the brother or the priest would come in, and you kind of hear their beads, and they would come in, and you're laying there, and then they would go to a bed, and then you'd hear them whisper, you know, hush now. And then they would pack somebody out. I couldn't understand why they chose who they chose. But it was god-awful painful because they were there for a few days and they couldn't walk. And they weren't allowed to talk to anybody. We were so isolated here, not just from home, but from each other. And all my relationships were because of what happened to me when I was 9 years old.
I had nobody to talk to, no one. I'm gonna make my noose. So I knew how to make that noose, say, for the rope, and it was about 30 feet long. So I finally finished it, and I sat in my chair. I wanted it to end. All that pain. So I decided the only way to do it was just to hang myself. So I've met a lot of people across Canada and a lot of survivors, and I share lots with them. But I support them too because I want them to know what their grandparents went through and what their parents went through. They're all having a very difficult time understanding, why does mom and dad drink? Why are they violent? Why don't they talk to me? But being a survivor sometimes can be a very lonely time for many of our people. They can't talk to people and tell them what's bothering them because it's hard to talk about abuse.
Dad, he used to drink a lot. And at a young age, when I was 6 or 7, he used to pack me from my room into his room. And he used to tell me what the priests and the nuns did to him at these schools. So at a very young age, I knew what happened to him and all my community members around. And like every Thursday night would be the drive-in, so everyone would go there and get drunk. And every Friday, everyone would go home and just party just because it's Friday and Saturday. And I seen this with my older brothers and a lot of my cousins, and there's lots of accidents and deaths. And what really changed my life, and I think saved my life, was sports. Ready? Go! I have 5 kids. My youngest one is 7. I have an 11-year-old, 14, 16, and 18. Does your sister want to go? So I'm trying to teach my youth, my kids, to be healthy, to live healthy, to exercise, to eat properly, get lots of sleep, all of the above. And you often hear, you often see in the media, the newspapers, the news, just get over it. Why can't Indians, First Nations get over it? It's in the past. What happened here as a form of Holocaust and genocide, hundreds of thousands of people, First Nations, died. Penelakut, where I'm from, to my generation and older, it's still known as the Rock.
You know, he would joke and be out in public and have his humor, I think, was his protection. His humor was how he escaped the fear, the feelings that he was going through.
Now we want to take our land back. I think that's a good thing. But they don't want to take the beads back. They call us Indian givers. Because when I look at the young people, I know for a really nice fact that my daughter here will never experience going to the outhouse. She will never ever experience having to go down the hill to pack water. And I also know that she will never ever experience somebody strapping her and whipping her to straighten her out. Those times are gone.
I was accepted into the addiction counselor role, which at the time they said, well, you fit your role because you're in it and you can help at the same time. So giving me that chance, I was able to tell my story, share my story with my clients, and help them move on. At the same time, helping myself move on.
I always say I will keep sharing my story until I can't stand or I can't talk. I want people to change their opinions. I want them to change their minds. We have to move out of that shadow that still affects us in our life, and we have to move on, make ourselves strong. I want to finish this book. It's almost complete. The impacts that it had for me and a lot of our people today is we still live in the shadow of that. Sometimes the truth is very painful, but it has to be shared. We have to do that because we have to start to change the opinions of ourselves.
One of them was sexually abused by their brothers in the Regenta schools. And that always bothered me. There's 4 of us left. What happened to me? Was I different? Was I wrong? Or, why am I still here?
We've survived, and all their efforts, they have failed, because I am here today.
It's often referred to as a Holocaust, a genocide by the Canadian governments and churches. But like Delmer said, who's now on the other side, we're still here. And that's what I love about our people.
Lots of that pain that many, many generations carry. Not only my generation and my children, grandchildren, my dad and my grandfather's generation. At least we were able to go home Christmas time and summertime. My dad and my grandpa, they stayed there for 6, 8, 12 years, depending which year they went. They didn't come home at all. So can you imagine the break of the family? There really wasn't any family structure whatsoever for many. Still there isn't any family structure in a lot of families.
I understand I need to let him go. But I can use what I know now with restorative yoga for survivors. I know what happened, but we can move forward and we can heal right now and we can continue healing tomorrow.
Okay, there we go.
Ready? 1, 2.
It's beautiful. I'm with my kids, I'm with my family, my son, grandchildren. You okay?
We're just having Indian tacos. Traditionally, it's done with our fried bread, and we do the lettuce, tomatoes, and salsa, cheese. So the guys are really good. They've been baking for over 3 years now. We've probably done about 35 different baking cakes and tarts and cookies, and a lot of their family look forward to them coming home with all their little treats every Monday when we have our groups. We don't live in that role of a survivor. We move past that and try and move on to that to heal. So I think that's what we really look at. You know, we don't want to live in the past anymore. So we got to be very, very strong and very healthy about it so we can survive for our grandchildren especially, eh?
We spend more time with these youth than I say than most parents, because we have them from 8:30 till 3. And this way we can change our way of thinking and to let people know that we can work together as one. We're on borrowed time. We have very, very few elders left who are very fluent in Ho'oponopono. And when their language go, all the history, culture, and knowledge also goes with them.
This is who we are. This is where we come from. This is our territory. This is our territory. Once you lose this oneness with Mother Earth, with nature, we're lost. We're lost as people. We are very lost. We have to accept responsibility for having children. We have to accept the responsibility of raising them, to nourish them, to teach them. We have to teach them the culture, their language, their territory, and to be proud of who they are. Some of our young parents would see that change in their lifetime, so that their grandchildren could benefit from their mistakes, from our mistakes, from the government's mistakes, from the church's mistakes. We can't blame anybody else now. We have to look at ourselves. We are in control of our own destiny. It's not pointing fingers at, you didn't do this for us. No. We are in charge. How much do we want to change? How much do we want to change?
If I reject the things that are happening and I'm not making a change within myself, then I feel I'm stagnant and I am part of the problem. So I feel now, by making myself healthy, by healing myself, by making my immediate surroundings healthy, safe, I feel that that is me being an activist. That is me making the world a better place. That I am making a difference, even if it's on an individual basis. Because when we change and when we heal ourselves individually, enough people are individually making growth, individually making positive changes, then pretty soon the collective community will be healthier.
Yeah. Well, I can't run anymore.
Grandparents don't
Yeah.
This is gorgeous.
Well,
I like that.
some of them.
Yeah. Pretty nice. That's part of us.
Yeah.
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 Looking out after one another. Yeah. And that's so nice, man. So nice. Yeah, we used to come run along this trail from the boarding school to go pick apples. To come down here with our grandchildren, we can't run no more. We can waddle or walk, but we can come down and kind of retrace this trail, tell our kids how we used to run this, go get apples.
Ashka.